As we begin to feel the first few days of heat this summer, so will these two teams out of the USL2's Heartland Division. It's Peoria City hosting Sueno FC in tonight's Heartland Division clash out of the USL2 from Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois. Welcome into the broadcast, everybody. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me is Francisco Alonso. Now, Francisco, these two teams, a little bit separation in the table, but both playing very good soccer at the moment. Peoria City comes in red hot, undefeated through 3 games.
Absolutely, Cody. You know, Peoria City is looking strong, but Sueños comes here into Peoria hoping to steal those 3 points and get closer to the top of the table. So we'll see how that goes.
Couple of surprises tonight. It'll be a reunion of Bradley players today. 10 in total will be in attendance between the two sides. 3 will be making the start for opposite side Sueno FC and Cam Kowalski, Jackson Fida, and Ian Ferguson with a few reserves along the bench. This should be a fun one.
Oh, it should be, you know. A lot of familiar faces here for Bradley. You know, we saw them talking before the game, so it's going to be a good one for sure.
As we begin to get closer and closer to kickoff, you can feel the anticipation start to build as the tailgating scene continues just behind us here in the Shea Stadium parking lot. These two teams jockeying for position. Peoria City trying to maintain a grip in the log jam with 4 teams in the Heartland Division with more than 6 points. They'll await a result tonight, hopefully a positive one. We kick it to the broadcast after a short break. Welcome, everybody, into Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois. I'd like to take this time to read off some of our pregame sponsors that make this broadcast and others like it in the future possible. Peoria City is powered by the House Barbell Club, the official presenting sponsor of the club. Located at 7920 North Somers Street in Peoria, get 24/7 access, group and personal training, and more at the House. Tonight, we want to say thank you to all the first responders in our area. Tonight's game day sponsor, the Germantown Hills Athletic Association, made it possible for us to welcome first responders and their families to Shea Stadium at no cost. Thank you for everything you do to serve our community. Peoria City fans, if you're looking for affordable home and auto insurance, look no further than FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safonavong Agency. Located in the heart of Peoria, the FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safonavong Agency has 6 full-time staff members offering more than 24 years of friendly, knowledgeable insurance experience. Call or text the FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safonavong Agency at 309-682-6610 to get a free auto, home, or insurance quote today. Thanks to Underdog Sports and Fanware for supplying youth soccer balls for Peoria City groups all season long. Head to the Underdog, 4650 North Brandywine Drive in Peoria for all your sports gear and merchandise. We would like to recognize Peoria City Soccer's Central Illinois Soccer Academy. The future of soccer is here in Peoria. Peoria City Soccer offers these summer camps to boys and girls of all ages. Contact us through our website and social media with how you can get involved. We would also like to thank Central States Marketing for their support of Peoria City Soccer. We appreciate your dedication to our club and the betterment of soccer right here in Central Illinois. Thank you also to ESPN Radio right here in Peoria, providing live on-site coverage here at Shea Stadium. Listen on 101.1 for all your Peoria sports coverage. We'd also like to thank our amazing food truck sponsors tonight, provide pregame tailgating meals. Just concluded with the national anthem. We'll now go down to the field level as we introduce the starting lineups.
Now let's see tonight's starting 11, beginning with our visitors, Sueno FC. In goal, number 1, Antonio Herrera. Number 2, Kyle Beebe. Number 3, Noah Glorioso. Number 4, Jackson Fida. Number 5, Camden Kowalski. Number 7, Julian Pacheco. Number 8, Daniel Boyka. Number 9, Ian Ferguson. Number 10, Antonio Casabal. Number 11, Luca Rosso. and number 6, Joseph Roper. And now let's meet the starting 11 for your hometown, Peoria City. In between the pipes, from Paris, France, number 1, Sammy Slimmy. From Madrid, Spain, number 2, Alejandro Valverde. From Durban, South Africa, 3, Josh Reddy. From Norwich, England, 4, Charlie Dickerson. From Montreal, Quebec, 5, Naji Rebai. From Crystal Lake, Illinois, number 6, Tommy Coughlin. From Roatan, Honduras, 8, Jose Gomez. From Williamsburg, Virginia, 9, Justin Wilson. From St. Charles, Illinois, 11, Luke Persenico. From Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, 16, Jorge Rodriguez. And from Morton, Illinois, number 20, Wes Gibson. Peoria City's head coach is Mike Pay.
All right, and with that, we have the starting lineups read off to you. Welcome again back into the broadcast here in Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois, where it's Peoria City hosting Sueno FC in tonight's Heartland Division Class in the USL2. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, joining me, a very special guest, head coach of the Bradley men's soccer team, Tim Reagan. Coach, thanks for joining me tonight. Coach, obviously a lot of differences between these two teams. Number one, typically where they stand in the table, but for two, you have some special interest because there's quite a few of your own kids out here tonight.
Yeah, between former Bradley players and current Bradley players, there's a good number on the squad and on the bench for both teams. So it'll be exciting to see those guys, and they're pretty familiar with the landscape.
As we get you set for tonight's match, Peoria City will give you a rundown of the table. Is currently sitting in a log jam, one of 4 teams with more than 6 points in the early sessions of the schedule. Sueno FC a little bit behind the pace, 1-2 so far this season. They are, however, fresh off a win against the Chicago Dutch Lions, so they'll be looking to try and snag at least a road point tonight to crawl back into the mix. Again, Peoria City, though, sitting in a logjam of 4 with 6 or more. This game will be one of 2 in the next 48 hours in the Heartland Division, with a lot of stake in the standings, as tomorrow Riverlight FC will host the Des Moines Menace in Aurora. Uniform matchups tonight, it'll be Peoria City working from right to left across your screen, working in their home kits for the first time this season. They wore the Rhodes to open the year. White kits with red and gray down the side. Sueno FC will work from left to right in the all-black kits with gold trim. So we get just set and ready to go. Here's Sueno FC will have the honors to begin tonight's match, and it'll be one of said Bradley players, Ian Ferguson, number 9 tonight for Sueno FC, with the initial touch. As fans begin to finish filing in.
Yeah, one thing, Cody, from a soccer standpoint, as they start off, you got to keep in mind a lot of these guys have just come together, so they're just a few trainings in and a couple of games, and so when it comes to the tactics and the subtle adjustments, you'll see the team start to get better as the half goes.
Of course, you have perfect instinct about that, as you were the head coach of Peoria City last season, so you know kind of what it takes to blend the squad together with pieces appearing and disappearing throughout the season. And it'll be Sueno FC again working left to right, and they'll be in position first. Again, 1-2 on the early goings of the campaign through 3 games, 3 points in the table. This ball will fall to Ferguson, a little high for him. Gomez, quick touch. Charlie Dickerson, left back today for Peoria City, was there, and we have our first foul going against Sueno FC. Sammy Slimmy, you see him in the gold keeper's kit. He's allowed 1 goal on the season through 3 games. That came against the Des Moines Menace in the season opener. Has had 2 clean sheets since that result.
Yeah, you're seeing both teams. Nobody's going to high press. They both got multiple games this week with only a couple of days rest. So you're not going to see anybody go crazy here in the opening part. Nobody wants to overexert themselves in the early stages.
Sueno FC in possession here, trying to cut out the inside wing. Ready, he'll give it back to Slimmy. And first foul of the night against City. The Antonio Herrera in goal tonight. And across the far side of touchline, City will have the throw-in. The SIUE product and graduate, recent graduate I might add, Wes Gibson. Begin the sequence. Peoria City, nice action here on the near side. Finds its way to Charlie Dickerson. Out to the feet of Jose Gomez from Otan, Honduras. That one coasts through the backside.
Gomez has some success so far this season with those types of passes and a nice finish the other day from range too. It'll be pretty common for him to come get the ball from the backs and look for those diagonal passes to the other side of the field. It really opens things up for Peoria City.
Sueno FC will build from the back here. Coach, early on in a game, obviously there's a lot of things that could happen. What were always some of the things you watched for in the first few minutes of a contest, whether I guess it's with Bradley or your time at Peoria City? What were always maybe just 1 or 2 things you wanted to see out of your side?
You know, the first thing is who's going to make an impact on the game first, who's going to be the first one to get a shot off, to win the tackle, to make the early challenges, to set the tone a little bit. And you can see in this game an early foul, just something to put your mark on it, and some sloppy giveaways, but you look at it right now.
And it's in a mark indeed. Peoria City out 1-0, just as you queued it up, Coach.
Yeah, it's a great ball from Valverde, and for Wilson, that's just an easy finish. He was able to get separation, and the giveaway really cost him because they're in an attacking position, and nobody's prepared for that type of transition. But what a really good serve for Valverde and a better finish from Wilson.
So City opens the scoring here just minutes into the contest, 1-0 Carp. They look to be on the front foot early. And again, dating back to last season, Peoria City was a statistically way stronger side at home. They averaged nearly 3 goals a match in their home matches last year. This year, only 1 match so far here at Shea Stadium, but they put 4 on the Dutch lines and off to a strong start.
Yeah, really big for Justin's confidence, too. Here's a guy that's trying to make his mark in the game. He has ambitions to be a professional, and he's put a lot of time in, and scoring goals is what he does, and it's great for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 2 or 3 more good chances here in the half just because he really feeds off that energy.
So Sueno FC will try and respond after the early surrender. Ball to Gomez. He's one of the players that joined the team after the road opener and season opener in Des Moines. Gibson, a little bit of space to operate. Opportunity here for Sueno. Lofted pass. It will be run down by the Carp.
Peoria City goal scored in the 5th minute by number 9, Justin Wilson. Assisted by number 2, Alejandro Valverde.
So City's goal being given to Justin Wilson, assisted by Valverde officially.
That was a similar moment right there for Peoria City where they were a bit fortunate. Sueno had that same giveaway and cost them a goal, but Peoria City just a little cleaner on the ball, was able to get out of those situations. They'll have to be careful not to let them cost them, but I think they're confident in their transition to defend anything.
Well, and that's one thing I've noticed, at least in the early matches, what you, I guess, have seen on TV and the one they've had here at Shea is they're a very vocal team. Not a lot of teams that get together for the first time are kind of wondering who's going to be the vocal leader. They have a lot of guys that are willing to take that role.
Yeah, it's a real positive energy, and that starts, Mike Pay runs that as a coach. He brings that energy and the confidence for the guys to be able to talk their way through things, and they're doing a really good job with it.
I'd like to take this time to remind people to check out Discover Peoria. Discover Peoria, Illinois is an unexpected gem on the Illinois River. Thriving with craft distilleries, museums, outdoor recreation, and home to premier sporting events, discoverpeoria.com for your upcoming events and festivals. Discover what you weren't expecting. Offside flag went up there. Kyle Beebe for Sueno FC, playing it ahead to Ferguson. Ready, he'll give it over to Gibson. Now Ready with a lot of space to work. Able to pick it out to Coughlin.
You look for these moments here when Peoria City gets on the ball. You're going to start to see them really comfortable in possession, but how quick they can punish you if somebody falls asleep. 1 or 2 passes forward, next thing you know, they're in the box and they're creating chances.
Here's one of those moments. They'll try it over the top. And across that back touchline, there'll be a goal kick coming up for Sueno.
That's an easy play for Kowalski. He's seen plenty of balls over the top against him here at Shea Stadium, and that's just – he's a strong enough, fast enough guy. He's never going to struggle in those situations. They'll have to find some other ways to get around him.
Sueno with the near-sided throw-in. Just a little bit out of our camera view. We're on top of the press box here at Shea Stadium. And this is one of your other former Bradley Braves, Fida, feeding a ball forward. And Slimmy able to play it on the hop. Again, in total, 10 former / current Bradley players on the field, so a lot of familiarity between the two sides. Actually, it's cut directly in half with 5 apiece. Going for the midfield, and a foul against Sueno. Dickerson trying to keep it in play. Nearly takes a visit up by us. Take this time, I'd like to thank Pip Marketing Signs and Prints for being the official designer and manufacturer of the banners you see here at Shea Stadium. Head to pip.com for all your custom print, signs, banners, and marketing needs. Again, thank you to Pip Marketing for helping make this broadcast and those like it in the future possible. Beebe will have the throw-in. Product of Sueno FC. Played a number of different positions. Fida feeds it back. Ferguson the nearest member of Sueno FC, but not all entirely too close. Dickerson overextends a touch. Now Josh Reddy. Pacheco tries to go one-on-one, able to find a crease. Shot ripped on, but it never really broke towards goal. And it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a shame there for Sueno. It was their first time in the final third, and there was probably a couple other simple passes that could have been made. Of course, his eyes lit up with that angle, but aim for the ball boy instead of the goal.
Julian Pacheco from Chicago State was the one that fed it through to Voca. Takes a bad hop. Glorioso tried to feed it through. But center back's doing well for Peoria City. Now back here to Kyle Beebe. Beebe, early action here. Able to send it off. City, though, with one of those takeaways that we've seen pretty frequently in their first handful of contests. And it's almost like a death by 1,000 paper cuts as he turns and burns. Gomez feeds it out into the wide area. Able to find it to Coughlin. Coughlin with the front foot. Tried to load up that right. Instead, Sueno will come back the other way. Julian Pacheco.
Waiting as the game develops to see if Sueno can get their outside backs a little bit higher. They get a little bit of interchange now, but they have yet to really get enough numbers forward to be a threat.
Pacheco tries to hunt out Ian Ferguson. Ends up with it right back at his own feet.
A lot of white shirts around there. It's really good defending by Peoria City. Made it look easy.
What are the things you look for, Coach, necessarily when that kind of stuff happens? You get a pass that kind of leads a little bit. Are you looking for multiple bias collapse, or do you maybe think that leaves you a little too susceptible for maybe a flick right back outside?
Yeah, you don't want too many to go onto the ball. It's just not necessary. Hopefully the nearest one or two guys can take care of business, and then if something breaks down, they'll add more guys to it. But that play right there, one black shirt, four white, it was too easy for Peoria City.
Works out to be bad math for Sueno FC. Antonio Herrera plays it back. A little bit of hesitation along that far side of play.
Still another one for Sueno. There's 7 guys in their defensive half. Good transition moment here for him.
Ball tried to be played through to Ferguson. It's still loose. Slimmy overplayed it slightly. He doesn't do it often, but Josh Reddy was there to clean it up on the doorstep.
Good touch there from Rodriguez. You start to see him get into the team a little bit more and start to see his quality. He's been quiet, but he's been moving around a lot. It makes possession easy for Peoria City because his movement's so good.
Jorge Rodriguez, Bryant, and Puerto Rico. It's part of the Puerto Rican U20 team. There's actually quite a few members of Peoria City staff that have either spent time with their native national team or in some sort of advanced system in the world of football, of soccer. Multiple MLS Next academies represented. Man on. Ferguson doing a good job trying to bring a physical presence at the top of the formation. So into the 15th minute, I'd like to remind everybody that Peoria City is powered by the House Barbell Club, the official presenting sponsor of the club. Located at 7920 North Somers Street in Peoria, get 24/7 access, group and personal training and more at the house. Tommy Coughlin able to make an advance forward. Rodriguez picks it right back outside. Nice lead inside. Leaves on the doorstep. Rodriguez puts on a shot. It's blocked.
First time we see Persinego's influence on the attack, and he's so dangerous around the final third. It's just comfortable little combinations. You saw that moment there. He set that up, and his deflected shot felt perfect for Rodriguez, but good defending by Sueno.
Persinego had the equalizing penalty kick against the Des Moines Menace. A couple other goals. He's one of the top goal scorers for Peoria City, and that's a lot to be said for a guy hailing from Clark, one of the smaller colleges of notoriety along this Peoria City side. And that's kind of the unique thing, right, Coach? Especially in the USL too, it's one of the highest stages right below professional. So you get a lot of guys from different levels that just wanting a chance to showcase what they have.
Yeah, don't be fooled by names and numbers sometimes. There are some great NAIA teams that would be fantastic at Division I level. Here comes Peoria City again.
Trying to feed it inside. Just north of the 6, it still dances free, like a pinball. And Sueno FC dodges that bullet. Glorioso trying to switch the play to Pacheco, but it was undercooked, and Dickerson has it. Quick throw in taken. Coughlin trying to navigate out of traffic. Now Wes Gibson. In recent years, he's played quite a bit of action on this field, despite not being for Bradley. This IUE product. Sueno FC trying to get it out of their own end. Pacheco's there. Ferguson lays it short. Fida will feed it outside. And you kind of see the spacing here for Sueno. They've had moments where they've looked really good trying to exercise opposite sides of the field, and other times it's been a little congested.
Yeah, so far their best moments have come off Peoria City's turnovers. They have yet to generate a whole lot in their possession, but I think as the game goes, you'll see them start to get a little higher up the field and be more dangerous, but we haven't seen it yet.
Fida takes a quick glance, plays it short to Beebe. Now to Ferguson. Has it on that left foot. Again, Pacheco. He turns back inside. And a foul against City. Naji Rabai. Just checking on Pacheco to make sure he's okay. He's a little slow to get up. Just the shin guards. Ball out into the final third. As we get close to the 20th minute, Peoria City is proud to partner with Prairie Home Alliance, the official sponsor of Peoria City Play Packs. Pick up a play pack before game time and enter the halftime challenges throughout the season here at Peoria City. As Pacheco down again. And they're motioning for Pacheco to be glanced at.
Yeah, he takes contact to the head. They're always going to do an analysis on that, make sure he's okay.
Meanwhile, Peoria City will try and get matched up against what could be a dangerous set piece for Sueno. Slimmy trying to get everybody organized. Not a ton of height on the Sueno team, but Ferguson, among the tallest, does play a natural forward position for them. Could be an option. They could also play it short.
Yeah, Kowalski's on the far side of the corner of the 18 right now. You see him. He'll probably get pretty close to the goal here on the serve.
Heads that way, and it's flicked away by Dickerson of Peoria City. Rosso fakes high, goes low, and has it immediately stunned out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for Sammy Slimmy. Again, just over 20 minutes gone here in the first half. Peoria City finds themselves leading 1-0 after a 5th-minute goal from Justin Wilson. Slimmy has a man down there. It's poked away for a moment, but City still in possession. Comes Gomez. Wes Gibson gives it right back. Sticks with bodies forward here for City. Rodriguez. Najee Rabai plays it back outside to Gomez. He'll try and play it up a channel. Sueno working it around again. Haven't had a ton of forward momentum in the natural run of play. Jackson Fida. Now Sueno leading a bit of a wave here. Tries to play it in on goal. There's Ferguson, and Slimmy was there to say no.
That's their best action of the day in terms of a chance they created all the way through. A little bit too much on that last pass, but it was a really good play.
So encouraging signs for Sueno after appearing a little discombobulated to get things going. And Najee Rabai is fouled, and we'll lay it off for Josh Reddy. As we get close to the 25th minute, Peoria City would like to thank the Greater Peoria Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. With the mission to grow commerce, community, and culture for Latinos in Greater Peoria, the Chamber is sponsoring the 2 matches in Peoria City's first ever Copa Peoria Series versus Chivas de Guadalajara U23. Don't miss out on all the action right here at Shea Stadium on Sunday, June the 9th, and Wednesday, June 12th. I know that'll be a very fun 2 days, technically a 4-day span for the club, bringing up Chivas, who you have some prior experience with, and it'll be great to have them in town.
Yeah, what an experience for people of Central Illinois to get to see their up-and-coming players and their guys that are on the fringe of making their way into the pro game. And similar to the guys we're seeing here on the field here, that same age range of guys with the ambition and the commitment. And not every player is a superstar at age 18 and 19. For most guys, it's about grinding their way through. And I say amazing experience for the people of Central Illinois get to come out and see Chivas players up close.
Again, those dates being June the 9th and June the 12th. We'd love to see you all out here Wednesday and Sunday. Those 2 dates again this upcoming month. And again, those games won't have any effect on the league standings. This will be one of the last real division matches for Peoria City for at least a couple weeks until they see Riverlight FC come into town. They'll have an exhibition coming up against Springfield FC. And of course, Chivas matches as well before they welcome in the River Lights of River Light FC in the early days of June. Ferguson sends it outside. Now a lot of forward momentum here for Sueno. And a foul in a spot that could provide a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate for Valverde. Everybody did their job getting back and kind of shut down Sueno's chances, and then just a little too much contact there. Second situation here where Sueno's in a good serving position. This one's a lot better than the first one. This is the area where a good, dangerous ball can go right into the goal with the slightest of touches or no touch, because the goalkeeper's got to be on his line to make sure nothing comes in. So quality of service here can really make things dangerous for Peoria City.
You can see Sammy Slimmy trying to eye up the two-man wall that City will put out there, and it was Luca Rosso, the man who led the charge forward, but it'll be number 10, Antonio Herrera, taking this one.
You also get these moments here where the server decides maybe he's going to go for goal himself.
Puts it on, and it does go straight to Sammy Slimmy. Ferguson was making a run towards that near post and maybe sailed a little short on him. Nice one-on-one run on this outside. A little ambitious, as not a ton doing for City. Checo lays it back for Jackson Fida. And Fida been a part of the Bradley men's soccer program the last handful of years. Started 17 of 17 matches for the Braves back in 2023.
Yeah, a real competitive spirit for the team, and he brings that every time he's out on the field. Just a strong desire to win. It's every coach wants that in their squad.
Well, and he doesn't only excel on the field. He was a recipient of many academic and community accolades in the Peoria area. Won Most Outstanding Student in Bradley Sports Communication College, and also interned for a time at the Olympics. And so he is a well-traveled and will be set up very successful for whatever he decides to do in his very near future.
Yeah, and Bradley's got a great history of sending interns to the Olympics, and he got to work for NBC and took a couple weeks off of school because it was the Winter Olympics in February, and you put that on your resume, and life's headed in the right direction.
Gibson will try and play it out of the back end, gets it to Reddy. Reddy, a bit of a side foot pass forward. Now trying to lead Charlie Dickerson into space. He will track it down in time. Dickerson, two Braves working on each other as Fida able to send it down the chain.
Yeah, probably needed to serve an early one there. There was enough guys in the box, and now you see the game starting to open up there. Sueno started it with a press in the last attack, and now we get a couple of countering moments, and maybe we get some more action to goal.
Across the far side touchline. So Sueno will have it as we approach the 30th minute. Good job by Rodriguez. Runs Sueno off the ball without fouling. Slimmy will sky it deep. Rodriguez essentially working 1-on-3 there.
Much better from Sueno. All their transition moments here when they win the ball. They're playing positive passes forward. They're completing them. It's making a lot more work for Peoria City.
Julian Pacheco just being hounded. Able to finally lay it off for Fida. Dickerson trying to get it to Rodriguez.
Great break up there by Kowalski. It was all or nothing. He went for it and made just enough contact to save them a breakaway.
Cam Kowalski, again, another one of the 10 current and former Bradley players on this side. He's played quite a bit of time next to one of his center back mates in Jackson Fida in the last handful of years.
That has value for a first-year club like Sueno to have some partnerships with some people and get the club moving in the right direction. And speaking with Matt Pearson before the game, just trying to build this thing up to give it credibility, because in your first your first month on the season, it's hard to have that in your first year. And so they're off to a good start and getting the personalities on the field that can show themselves and set themselves up for a future. And that's his ambition with the club, is to give guys opportunity.
Playing it out wide, Dean Ferguson has a little bit of room to operate. Bit of a contest, foul against Sueno and Luca Rosso. Product of Butler and West Dundee, Illinois. Didn't get any game action in 2023, but again, it's one of the nice things about the USL 2 is it provides those kind of players an opportunity to get some action in the summer before heading back into the fall.
Good action there by Gomez to break through on the dribble.
And Dickerson has his advance cut off by Kyle Beebe. And then we'll have a throw-in coming to Tommy Coughlin. Nearly 32 minutes gone here in half number one. Again, Peoria City out in front, 1-0 off of a Justin Wilson goal, assisted by Valverde. Back in the early few minutes of this one, has us standing where we are.
It's about the 5th attack in a row where Sueno's done just a great job in terms of opening things up, and here they are in the box in possession.
Ball spit back inside. Tried to find Ferguson. Slimmy got a touch, but it'll set up a corner for Sueno FC, their first of the night.
Peoria City hasn't had any trouble defending set pieces so far. Comfortable in terms of goalkeeping positioning, and we'll see what it's going to be here for Sueno. That makes it a little bit more dangerous because probably too many good chances here. They can't keep passing up on these moments.
It's a really good Peoria City defense. Just 1 goal allowed through 3 contests. The best defensive side thus far in the Heartland division. In breaking ball, and Slimmy has it all the way. Here's Cam Kowalski having a few choice words about maybe some physicality that went unchecked.
That's not the first time he's had a question for the referee in his career.
Nobody would know better than you, Coach. But that's the kind of attitude you like from time, though. Not necessarily to be chippy with an official, but maybe have a little bit of angst a little bit about him.
He's very polite. He has good parents. So.
Mundelein, Illinois is hometown. Just under 1,000 minutes of action. Last season for the Braves was with Thunder Bay back in 2023 in the USL 2.
Yeah, and he and Fido that 2022 season spent it up there in Thunder Bay together, and really well-run club, and set them up for a good college season. Unfortunately, Kowalski got an injury that set him back for that year, but they had a great summer up there, and really good experiences, just new people, new settings, and it's great for young players to challenge themselves.
Absolutely, and it gets another set of coaching eyes on you. Maybe they see something else that perhaps they would like to see worked on, and he did such a good job at Thunder Bay that he was named the 2023 Newcomer of the Year to Thunder Bay in 2023 season. So those that have reservations about maybe, USL 2, it's not professional, why would you want to go spend your summer playing with a bunch of guys you'll maybe never see again? Well, there's your answer why. Gets you a ton of quality minutes. And it'll be possession to Sueno. Going quickly. Ferguson and company inside, going back post, but there it will fall to Sueno. Shot on and rocketed into 309.
Yeah, it's a good 6-7 minutes now for Sueno, where they've been much more positive in the attack. Serves, good combination outside the box, and we'll see if they can sustain it. This is the part of the half where, for college players, you're used to starting to see substitutions. And, of course, in the USL 2, it follows a professional model of when you substitute, you're out for the game. So for the guys to be able to manage themselves through these time periods is something that the summer does give them that experience level 2 that they're not used to during their fall and their spring exhibition seasons.
So we get into the 35th minute. Peoria City, thanks TDK Event Services, the official transportation partner of Peoria City. TDK is your premier destination for luxury transportation and event experience. Learn more on their Facebook page today. Into the penalty area. And Last few minutes, it has just continued to be a flip in the run of play. In the first 20 minutes, you would have to say Peoria City, without a doubt, really had the better half of it, and now Sueno has begun to level that out. And foul against Peoria City, and Sueno will have the free kick.
Yeah, so what I meant when I was referring to the fatigue is you get these little careless moments, right? Sloppy giveaways, fouls that are just fatigue-related. You grab, you kick somebody's ankle, and you don't see that in the first 15. So for Peoria City, you just need to clean that up a little bit and get back to what was doing them positive things in the first 15 minutes of the half.
Fighting Sueno FC.
Foundation $10,000 grand prize are Jackson Cannell and Ryan Walker. Please head to the patio in front of the President's Box located between the grandstand and the Shea Brigade.
Luca Rosso tries to get there for Sueno. It will belong to this side. Now here's Rosso. Trying to earn possession back in the final third. Will stick with City as Persenico.
Yeah, Coughlin and Persenico, just really good combination play on that far side to get out. They made it look really easy. That's a difficult play they just executed there. And it's in their own half, so it's not like they're going to get the goal out of it. But here they are able to get the throw in and get back into their building shape.
Under 10 minutes to go here in the first 45 minutes. And Peoria City has looked the better at times, but Sueno's definitely asked some questions here in the latter minutes. As Persenico tries to run it down. Will just stay in play. Voika loses it, but Josh Reddy from Peoria City does a good job battling Ferguson. Nearly got his side the ball. Nice slide tackle from Gomez. And a little too physical on the shove, and Sueno will have the honors. Quickly read you off just the stats we have so far. Peoria City with the 2 shots, single save for Slimmy. Sueno with 3 shots, no saves so far. And Reddy sends it across the touchline, back to Sueno. Wilson trying to be physical on the ball there. No whistle coming. Beebe plays it forward. Voika again. Hadn't had a chance to call his name too much in the first half, but he's come alive here a little bit. Ferguson tries to play it across the top of the box. In this one out wide, Glorioso gives it right back. Trying to drive forward, City's there. Nice job running through traffic. Loses it.
It's a little bit too deep, Peoria City's been, so it's hard to get out quickly. It's better to connect a few passes and let the team get up with you versus a 1 versus 3 or 1 versus 4.
That's Persenico trying to make that last advance for City, but Rosso trying to send in a threatening ball here. And we will have another corner kick coming up for Sueno.
Referenced it before with Slimmy and confident goalkeeping makes things so much easier for Peoria City in these moments. You're a little fatigued, hard to get up and make a good defensive heading clearance, and when your goalkeeper comes and takes care of things, it's a huge benefit.
And the France native, Sammy Slimmy, able to haul it in. Also spent time with Campbell University. Fighting Camels, their mascot, one of the more unique ones in Division I athletics. Made 13 appearances last season for them.
Yeah, great coach there in Dustin Fonder. It has some, for a mid-major team, they've shocked a lot of big opponents down in that region. I'm not sure some of those ACC teams want to keep putting them on their schedule because they keep beating them, but they're doing a great job down there.
And Wilson pushing forward here as Rodriguez on his left, along with Dickerson. He'll lay it off for Coughlin. A half-hearted swing to the outside. Valverde sends a liner towards that front post. Persenico tried to get a touch on it.
Good play by Kowalski there, and I think their center backs were in good position there to defend the play. And like I said, it's about the 7th or 8th time in a row. Sueno's been much better in these moments when they win the ball.
It'll be Ferguson. Play it to the opposite end to Julian Pacheco. That ball hung just a little too long in the air and allowed City to get back in position. That was Jose Gomez. And
yeah, Gomez was fortunate there. There's a lot of contact on that play, but the referee gives a throw in.
So Pacheco has it right back at his feet following the throw-in. He'll work against Dickerson. Sent backside. A little too long for Rosso and Ferguson, and City clears it out of their own end.
That was a good serve. The runners were just too central. Somebody's got to be on that back area. It's an easy play if someone's in a better spot.
Kowalski has it here for Sueno FC. Give it near side to Jackson Fida. Kyle Beebe. Busy first half for him in his first 40-some-odd minute shift. Nice lead pass to the outside. 3 near the box here for Sueno. One backside. And a little half-hearted chop again. We'll have Sueno on the near side throwing with just about 2 minutes to go here, not counting the stoppage time, which will be very minimal here in half number 1.
Yeah, you know, games just have these funny flows to them. Peoria City, the first half of the half, no problem at all. And here, this second portion of the half is all Sueno. So for Peoria City, just how can they see it out? Intelligence, calmness, maybe a little bit direct in a couple moments here, and just see it through and see what halftime brings for them.
Well, and City's done very well in halftime adjustments. So Mike Pitt does a fantastic job there. We saw it second half against Des Moines and also second half against both Dutch Lion games where they were able to tack on 2 in those out of 2 contests in each half. Gomez loads right, goes back to the left, puts back on an effort with the right, and will generate a Peoria City corner. Just a few moments left here in half number 1.
It's a good way to dig out of a rough 20-minute segment for him here. Get a goal. I mean, go into halftime with that positivity. I think there's a really good opportunity here. If the quality of the service is there, they got a lot of big guys in the back, and Najee in the midfield. I see a good opportunity here.
Big corner from the far side for City. Outbreaking ball towards the front post and easily hauled in. As the final few moments will begin to tick off. Again, time officially being kept on the field here. Fida feeds it near side. Ready, able to send it away. Here's a chance for Peoria City. Jorge Rodriguez is there, playing it forward, and it just dances through a couple of legs. And Peoria City may have seen their last chance this half go to the wayside. Again, we're anticipating not a ton of extra time here, just the lone goal and single stoppage for injury was all we're throwing back on in this first half. Sueno. Now we'll go across, and we will have, I guess, one more opportunity here for Sueno. I'd like to remind everybody we'll have a special guest joining us at halftime, so stay tuned for that. As former head Bradley men's soccer coach Jim DeRose and president of Peoria City Soccer will join us here at halftime. Outbreaking ball. Opportunity for Sueno. Looks like they got a touch on it from either Kowalski or Fida. And now City trying to break out. It's a 3-on-2. A lot of venom here for City. Where will they play it? It'll play right side. Persenico. Cross it back inside, and it's just into the side netting. City could have seen 2 to the good in half number 1, but instead, the score line will hold. Sueno with a much improved latter 20 minutes of the first half as Peoria City goes into the break up 1-0. I'd like to take this time that Peoria City is powered by the House Barbell Club, the official presenting sponsor of the club, located at 7920 North Somers Street in Peoria. Get 24/7 access, group and personal training, and more at the house. Tonight we want to say thank you to all the first responders in our area. Tonight's game sponsor, the Germantown Hills Athletic Association, made it possible for us to welcome first responders and their families to Shea Stadium at no cost. Thank you for everything you do to serve our community. Peoria City fans, if you're looking for affordable home and auto insurance, look no farther than FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safanavong Agency. Located in the heart of Peoria, the FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safanavong Agency has 6 full-time staff members offering more than 24 years of friendly and knowledgeable experience. Call or text the FC Allstate Insurance Sang Safanavong Agency at 309-682-6610 to get free auto or home insurance. Thanks to Underdog Sports and Fanwear for supplying youth soccer balls for Peoria City groups all season long. Head to Underdog 4650 North Brandywine Drive in Peoria for all your gear and sports merchandising. We'd like to recognize Peoria City Soccer's Central Illinois Soccer Academy, the future of soccer here in Peoria. Peoria City Soccer offers these summer camps to boys and girls of all ages. Contact us through our website and social media with how you can get involved. We'd like to thank the Central States Marketing for their support of Peoria City Soccer. We appreciate your dedication to our club and to the betterment of soccer right here in Central Illinois. We'd also like to thank our amazing food truck sponsors for coming out tonight. We'd also like to thank the Dramatics for coming out at halftime here, and also the Peoria Rivermen on their championship team being honored just moments ago. So we'll step aside for a short break. Again, don't go anywhere. 1-0, Peoria City up.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clip Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories. Your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action. More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
UFC. I'm Cody Roskins, and joining me now, a very special guest, former Bradley head men's soccer coach Jim DeRose and current president of Peoria City Soccer. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
So, obviously, first year really getting into the weeds with the club. How do you feel this, first few games have gone? What are you hoping to see later in the season?
I guess first is the off the field. We couldn't be more happy and thankful for the community and what they've done. As you can see from the presentation out here with our sponsors and our fans and everything that's the tailgate, it has come to something that we really felt was important for the community and the city. And we obviously are excited about the soccer, but we're probably more excited about how we've been embraced by the community and what the future holds. From a soccer standpoint, obviously, we're excited with the start. Unbeaten through 3, tight game tonight. I think, Mike and Ryan have done a great job as the coaches of putting together a pretty eclectic roster and a fun one for people to watch.
Now, you mentioned on some of those exciting things coming to the community. One of those will be Chivas from Guadalajara, U23 team making the trip here in the coming weeks of June. Tell me, what kind of things can the Peoria community expect from that? And, I mean, obviously, we know what Chivas is, but maybe the people at home a little unfamiliar with the brand.
Yeah, real quickly, just a quick Google search will tell you it's one of the largest soccer brands in the world. Not just, I try to tell people if we were to compare it, this would be along the lines of the Cowboys, of the Red Sox, the Yankees, those types of Dodgers, those types of teams. And for our community to see what that global outreach is of Chivas and these players, aspiring professionals and in their system and organization, guys they may be able to see one day in World Cups and on the first team. So that world and global brand is incredible, and to have them here for 5 days in Peoria as part of the Copa Peoria, meet and greets and coaching clinics and ID clinics for those that want to get in front of their scouts is fantastic. So I just can't speak enough about what the Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has done and the community for it.
Absolutely. And again, if just tuning in, Cody Roskins, Jim DeRose here joining you at halftime, 1-0 Peoria City over Sueno FC. Coach, I only have a few more questions left. I thank you so much again for joining us, but again, great start to the season. You'd mentioned the roster. You, your course, have spent nearly 3 decades as a head soccer coach. Is it a little bit different now, kind of sitting back and seeing the game from a different side of things?
Yeah, it's funny. For the first time I'm watching a game, and of course I'm excited about the game. But you're looking around at the other presentation and what could we do better for our fans? What could we do more to make it? We wanted to cross over a lot of different platforms to get people here. So looking at it through a lot of different lenses. But obviously my passion and my heart is in watching the game. So that's exciting. But to have a chance in this part of my career to work so tightly with the Peoria community across all different groups has been so exciting for me and Bobby Parker alongside, and we just think it's going to be a great thing for the community, and for me it's a great time. And then the best of both worlds is having the Bradley players, almost 10 players involved in the game tonight for Sueno and ourselves.
Now, you kind of touched on those 10 players. Obviously, you were the head coach last season for Bradley. You just turned it over to one of your former players in Tim, who just called the first half with us. What were some of your favorite memories seeing, just of Tim? I mean, what can we kind of expect to come through with what kind of things at Bradley Soccer, even just here at Peoria City? I mean, do you have a favorite memory in those nearly 3 decades being involved in soccer?
Well, yeah. Well, first we'll talk about Tim. So, everyone knows Tim is an incredible human being, is one of the best people you'll ever be, but don't confuse it. He's a fierce competitor and was an incredible competitor as a player, and no one will work harder than him and Brian Barnett to bring success to Bradley in an ethical and a really hardworking manner. So that's exciting. No, this field here has been part of some incredible moments. Obviously multiple conference championships and NCAA wins and, pros playing on the field and just in, teams across the country, great teams playing here. So, I mean, it would be hard to pinpoint one, but really, I think Shea Stadium has just become really centric to great soccer, not just in the Midwest, but nationally. And we've seen some great players come through here, and hopefully we'll keep it going.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in at halftime, guys. We'll step aside for a short break and be right back with the second half action.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories, your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action, more stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back, soccer fans. Cody Roskins alongside our new color commentator for the second half. Again, want to thank Tim Regan for that wonderful first half he put in. A lot of insight to the game. But Joey Wright, co-founder of Clutch Sports Media, now joining me for the second half. Joey, welcome in.
Cody, thanks for having me. I've got to say right at the top here, what a joy to be out here. Had a lot of fun at the opener 11 or so days ago, having a lot of fun tonight. Shout out to Bobby Parker and his whole team. Really a great atmosphere out here. There's Peoria City branding everywhere. You've got the food trucks, the tailgate. A lot of kids out here having fun. It is truly a great time. If you're looking to get to a game at Shea Stadium this season, would highly recommend you do so.
Peoria City, Joey, was one of the top attended teams in USL 2 a season ago, and they're only in their third season of existence. Season opener, they set the attendance record here at Shea Stadium for the franchise, and so it's building on a strong foundation through those first three games. But if you're just tuning in, I want to recap the first half for you. It was a Justin Wilson goal, assisted by Anthony Valverde, that put City out in front 1-0 over visiting Sueno FC. And that kind of set the table for where we're at right now, Joey. And Tim had touched on it before we ended the first half. It was a first half of 20 minutes that was dominated by Peoria City. It was a second half of that 45 minutes roughly that was dominated by Sueno FC. And so you're wondering, and you come out of the second half, what kind of adjustments will both sides make? Obviously, Peoria City's been very tactical in second halves this season. They've tacked on extra goals in all three of their contests so far this season. So that's definitely within the cards tonight. And this is a side that averaged nearly 3 goals a game at home last season.
Cody, I don't think this 1-0 score is going to last very long. And I think the players and coaches both recognize, just take a look around, feel the breeze. It's a cool evening here in Peoria. High temperature today was, just over 70 degrees. It's cooled off nicely. Really a nice evening for soccer, and you're not always going to have this. A lot of these, in fact, all the Peoria City home games start at 7:30, but a lot of times you think that late June, early July forecast, it's muggy, it's hot. You're looking at temperatures still in the 80s by the time the game concludes. So a good opportunity to, crank the throttle down and put some goals up here down in the second half.
I'd like to take this time to remind people that Peoria City Soccer is excited to introduce our River City Brews initiative, a network of local bars and restaurants who support our club while offering them exclusive perks all season long. Head to PeoriaCitySoccer.com and click the River City Brews tab to see all participating sponsors. Again, I want to thank all those sponsors that we mentioned in the first half and those still to come here in the second half for making broadcasts like this, others like it in the future possible, as Peoria City Soccer continues a great 2024 campaign. Again, Joey, Year 1, they make the playoffs. Year 2, they're in the toughest division arguably in the USL 2 with Des Moines and Chicago City both putting up over 30 points in the division, which is to say basically going undefeated besides the one time you play that side. But now Peoria City here in Year 3, off to a good start, undefeated through 3, sitting very at the top of the table, a logjam of 4 teams. I know you're a big standings guy. What kind of things do you look for, maybe just quality-wise out of teams, to try and separate themselves from the pack?
Well, especially you mentioned that Heartland division is brutal. I mean, night in, night out. We saw it a few weeks ago, that big win against the Chicago Dutch Lions. You want to come out early. In a tough division, you gotta set some distance between you and the field early on. You know, you can't wait until late in the season to make up that ground. So Peoria City doing an excellent job of doing just that. You mentioned they've not taken a loss yet to this point in the season, and a great opportunity to close out a quality Sueno FC team here out of Joliet in the second half. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I like the start that Peoria City's off to this season for sure.
Peoria City with a couple of switches personnel-wise as we head into half number 2. Pepe Mayado checks into the game for the Braves, or excuse me, not for the Braves. He did play for Bradley very recently. It's been hard for me calling Bradley games and switching back here, but DJ Kulai, one of the fan favorites, checking into the game as well in his natural forward position. And again, it's a talking point we're going to hammer on all night. 10 former/current Bradley Braves between the two teams tonight, split evenly 5 on each. Fida and Kowalski and Ferguson made starts for Sueno. There's a handful as well for Peoria City, and there's quite a few still on the reserve bench for Peoria City as well. So by the night is done, should be a lot of well-traveled former current Braves on the field tonight.
You'd be forgiven for making that Bradley mistake. I mean, you look around, 5 Braves aside. We're at Shea Stadium, home of the Braves. That's another thing I really like, Peoria City's approach. Obviously, Shea Stadium, you look around, there's some Bradley signage, but it doesn't feel necessarily like the home of the Braves tonight. There's black and gold branding everywhere. You've got the tents down either side of the press box. It is a great atmosphere here at Shea Stadium. We'll see if Peoria City can close this deal out.
So DJ Kulai, the Missouri Valley Conference all-freshman team member in 2023, will have first serve here in half number 2. Behind him will be Pepe Mayado, another former Bradley Brave. Only substitutions we've seen so far. If we see any more, we'll relay them to you. Again, now City will work left to right here in half number 2. Sueno will go right to left. Again, Peoria City in the white kits with the red and gray trim as this advancing pass to Persenico.
Watch for Sueno to come out here and try and set the tone here. Good opportunity early on.
Luca Rasso in the penalty area, puts it on and serves it just wide. Good, like you said, Joey. Again, the midfielder from Butler and native of West Dundee, Illinois. Didn't appear in any game matches in 2023, but it's a guy that has some prior experience. Played for MLS Next side. Chicago Shockers made it to the round of 16 of the MLS Next playoffs.
Battle tested.
Ball chipped forward to Pepe Mayado.
So many of these guys on the pitch tonight, Cody. A lot of experience. You know, a lot of those Braves you just called out a moment ago. Big-time players in Jim DeRosa's rotation, now Tim Regan's rotation moving forward.
As Sueno FC comes back the other way. Kowalski has it. He'll dish it off. Advancing ball forward here. Luca Rasso has it sent away by Gibson. Sueno FC, much like they ended the first half, done a good job of really leading players into space. Trying to find an avenue to play a threatening ball in. Instead, it's a bit of a drive forward here. Left-footed cross, backside. Pacheco lays it off. This shot by Beebe is sent back.
Always a good sign when your goal scorer is the one blocking the ball inside the box. Great play.
Cam Kowalski. Glorioso gets it right back. Member of the Wisconsin Badgers men's soccer team, Naperville, Illinois native. Had 5 games, started 2 of those contests against Penn State and Indiana back in 2023. Kowalski trying to direct some traffic. Gets it to Glorioso. Now pushing forward here for Peoria City. They got 5 bodies forward. Swing it outside to DJ Kulai. Kulai continuing to power forward. Goes across. Touchline and possession. Here's the official signal to Sueno, and Kulai not all too happy about it. Again, he was a member of the Missouri Valley Conference all-freshman team back in 2023 for the Braves. Trying to build off a strong spring season and carry it here into the summer.
Always a difficult task for a goal scorer. You're only judged by one thing, and so to have a positive influence in the game is important, but scoring goals is your job. And for the team so far this summer, drawing penalties equals scoring goals for the team. So he's had a really strong influence.
Maybe we'll petition for the NCAA to give a half assist every time DJ draws a penalty this upcoming season.
I vote for that.
Luca Rosso lays it off.
Herrera's really found himself into the game late in the first half and in this half so far too. When he's the one around the box making the passes and making the serves, been a lot more dangerous for Sueno.
Dickerson along that far side. As we get near the 50th minute here in this contest, I'd like to remind everybody about Discover Peoria. Discover Peoria, Illinois, an unexpected gem on the Illinois River. Thriving with craft distillers, museums, outdoor recreation, and home to premier sporting events. Visit discoverpeoria.com for upcoming events and festivals. Discover what you weren't expecting. And Rosso seems to have a common theme, possession along this near side, trying to make a run along the final third. Nice flick forward, tried to find Mayato. BBL played outside to Pacheco. Glorioso trying to get to that right foot, chips it inside. Flicked away. Kulai to Mayato. Now they'll push forward. Pepe waiting for reinforcements. Officials will say play on. Again, not a ton of subs that we were able to notice heading into half number 2. Peoria City subbed off for Kulai and Mayato. Abraham Horta will also come into the contest for Sueños. Kulai flirting with the final third. Will lay it off to Gomez. Kulai able to split 2 nicely. Hits the deck and it's a quick lift up from Cam Kowalski. Throw in for City. Wes Gibson told him to hold off here. Let me send Josh Reddy over. Coach, some teams will use these near-sided throw-ins like this deep in the territory, almost like a mock corner, trying to put it just into the box. Is that usually a tactic you like to see maybe from this distance, or is it a little closer than that perhaps?
You got a guy that can throw it in there, you do it, because it's really difficult for guys at these level, goalkeepers, defenders, to get comfortable clearances. So ball's bound to fall somewhere positive for you, and why not?
Pepe will lay it off to Valverde. Dickerson turns and burns up field. Doesn't have a lot to go with it. Here comes Peoria City, though. Persenico keeps possession. Has an opportunity to go outside to Gomez. Chips it inside. Again, Rosso continuing to have a fingerprint on this second half.
Yeah, Rosso's ability to get by somebody the first time is really, really good this happen, as long as he plays simple afterward.
Julian Pacheco is able to run it down. Chance inside for Sueno. It still falls at their feet. Opportunity inside, and it will sail high. Sammy Slimmy will have the goal kick. Diego Zarte will come into the contest for Sueno FC.
Yeah, Zarate got the third goal in their last match. Young guy, high school age. Impressive for somebody at this level to come in and have an impact like that as a young player. It's not easy. This league's full of older guys.
Sueno substitution, number 12, Diego Zarate.
So he will join the back portion of the formation here for Sueno FC, native of Lockport, Illinois. Nice tackle. Dickerson will go down, but has the foul.
You see this from strikers from time to time. For Horta there, no harm with whacking a defender. They whack you the whole game, so you might as well get your chance to hit them back. And you do it one too many times, you get a yellow card, but usually the referee's not going to book a situation like that. And it's worth it. It's worth a chance to try to strip the ball and make something good happen.
It's a little overrun by City. Persenico tried to become the recipient. Now it's over the top to Rosso, and that will go across the near-sided touchline.
Second or third time, there's two instances in the first half, and one instance that you saw there, just two guys around each other, and there's an arm that hits somebody in the face, so it looks like there was a little bit of contact there. Hopefully it didn't cause any blood or any major issues, but the referee didn't see anything violent in it.
Nobody appears to be making their way towards officials to be subbed in. And training staff will come out, tend to the injured player. But if you're just tuning in, I want to thank you all for joining us here on this Wednesday night. Beautiful night for soccer here in Central Illinois. And a few days following a couple storm fronts that rolled in. Peoria City, not much to worry about today with the weather. As we eclipse the 55th minute. 1-0 Peoria City. Justin Wilson's goal from Anthony Valverde, the only difference so far in this one. Here's everything is all set, pretty, and ready to go once more.
Yeah, hopefully what goes okay there. Looks like he's just going to step off for 20 seconds or so, wait to get called back in by the center referee.
Slimmy will try and lead everybody.
I think you'll find at Shea Stadium when you hit these evening hours is the second half going to be a little faster than the first on the field. The little bit of natural dew hits the grass, and so the balls skip. Even you see these passes around the back, they're a lot smoother than they are when the sun's on the grass. It's just a bit dry. It gets water before the game, but the sun dries it up too fast. So you'll see balls skip to the goalkeeper a little bit more often.
Diego Zarate tries to run onto this one. He'll whip a ball in. Trying to find Rosso.
Yeah, no panic there from Peoria City. Easy defending for them. They're handling these moments without any sweat, and hopefully they'll get some more counterattacks and be a little more dangerous in transition.
And we kind of touched on it in the first half. You know, with these sides, a lot of times it's just a few training sessions like you had touched on, and then you're essentially playing against a team in the same situation with their 11. And at least with Peoria City, there seems to be a lot of trust in those newcomers completing their one-on-one assignments, winning their one-on-one wars, and not to quote Bill Belichick, but just doing your job.
Yeah, and again, that just comes from the top. Coach Pay's making simple instructions for these guys to execute and then let their quality come out.
Gibson to Coughlin, forward to Kulai. Leads it on to Pepe Mayado. Shot on the way, and it's 2 now for Peoria City. Carp push out in front, 2-0. And following a sequence of just one-touch passes, Coach.
Yeah, who wasn't involved on that play would be your question. From Brasenico on the finish, but Wilson, Mayado, Kulai, all of them playing their part. Really good combination play there.
Dish out the hockey assist, so to speak, for Peoria City forwards. It's 2-0 Carp. And again, in every match this season, and now they've extended to 4, Coach Mike Pace maybe made some tactical adjustments, maybe just giving them some slight instructions in the second half, but they've now scored a second-half goal in all 4 matches this season.
Yeah, right in front of the 309, giving us something to cheer about. Great noise, the drums are banging, the flags are moving, so great to score goals in front of your home crowd.
While we wait for play to get set and ready to resume, we'd like to thank Pip Marketing, Signs and Prints for being the official designer and manufacturer of banners. You see it here at Shea Stadium. Head to pip.com for all your custom prints, signs, banners, and marketing goals. So Sueno FC, even though they've had some really good avenues here through this one, find themselves trailing 2-0.
Yeah, you kick yourselves times in the game when you've got your moments, you've got your set pieces, and you don't really threaten the goal. And for Sueno, that's just part of the early growing pains of the season and finding that attacking quality that can score a chance, whether it's a defender on a set piece or through the run of play with your attacking guys. The opposite for Peoria City. They've been able to find goals quite easily here in their last 3 games, and that continues tonight.
Coughlin has it. Lay it all the way back to Slimmy. Take a second to touch on each team's schedule to this point. Peoria City opened on the road against the Menace of Des Moines. Took them to a draw, 1-1. It was the first ever point for Peoria City in the table against the Menace. Followed that up with a combined 10-0 victories over the Dutch Lions. Now dicing inside, Valverde tries to feed one through. It'll be out for a Peoria City throw.
Peoria City goal scored in the 59th minute by number 11, Luke Persenico. Assisted by number 9, Justin Wilson.
So City will have the throw in. Their second goal given to Luke Persenico, officially assisted by Justin Wilson. So Wilson with a goal and an assist so far in this one. This one in the box, rocketed in. It's 3 to the good. It's Charlie Dickerson, and he'll put Peoria City in the driver's seat.
Nothing better up 2-0 to get that third goal and don't give Sueno that opportunity to come back, and would have finished by Dickerson. I mean, great play.
Well, that did not take long. It was a flurry of goals here in the last couple minutes for Peoria City. Have the Carps swimming comfortably. And now Sueno FC, you can see them trying to get together and calm each other down. There's a lot of time left, but 3-0 is a tough pill to swallow. So the captain of Peoria City, Charlie Dickerson, notches his first goal of the campaign. Puts Peoria City again up 3-0. We'll have substitutions coming on. Miles Safanovong and Joao Saraiva will join the formation here for Peoria City. Sueno will send it all the way to Slim. We want to take this time to remind everybody, Peoria City is proud to partner with Prairie Home Alliance, the official sponsor of Peoria City Play Packs. Pick up a play pack before the game and enter the Halftime Tennis Ball Challenge.
Number 7, Joao Saraiva, and number 17, Miles Safanovong.
So one of the multiple former PND products, Miles Safanovong, getting a little bit of a cheer after being officially introduced to the home crowd. Dickerson plays it out wide for Pepe Mayado. Tommy Coughlin sends it back to Gibson. Now here's Safanavong. He'll turn, accelerates, maybe a little too far out in front with that first touch.
That's great work by Coughlin. Simple recovery, but man, he got that ball back really fast for his team, and hopefully they can get back and sustain in possession and create another chance. And that's the one thing about bringing Saraiva and Safanavong is now you boost your energy in the midfield. So as Sueno's starting to fatigue and look at the scoreboard and get a little bit of that down attitude, you got two guys fresh off the bench, waiting to make a huge impact.
2023 Defender of the Year for Peoria City, Wes Gibson, laid that off to Slimmy, and he's working on what could be a third consecutive clean sheet. Hopefully no announcer's jinx in that one. Here's Reddy. Chance here for Sueno. Just north of the penalty area. Strong battle for the ball, won by Dickerson, but Sueno maintains. Right-footed cross inside. Rosso was the only one there.
Called a penalty.
And
how about that? A little bit of contact there from Valverde into the back, and you don't usually see that contact. It wasn't that aggressive, but apparently the referee saw enough to throw off the scoring chance, and penalty it is.
Well, I'm going to eat that one because I just said no announcer's jinx. And now Sammy Slimmy will have to try and defend what will be a penalty attempt for Sueno FC. So this could be exactly what Sueno needs to find a little bit of juice in this second half. And again, it'll take a lot for a complete comeback, but it's got to start somewhere. Dickerson giving some last-minute words to his goaltender. This to make things interesting. Slimmy with the stop! Peoria City snuffs it out!
Amazing save he made. Nearly caught it and then got his own rebound without any real stress on his. Just fantastic display there by Slimmy. And the ball is struck hard, not toward the corner, but you got to go the right way and you got to make clean contact. And what a spectacular play.
And that's one of the most frustrating things, right, that some goaltenders will tell you, at least the ones I've spoken to, is on those when you get the initial stop, but then they immediately come rushing in from the penalty area and punch it in.
Yeah, you get mad at your defenders, the rebound goes in there. Idiots. They're supposed to clear the ball, but you didn't have to worry about that. He was up so fast after the save, too, and smothered that ball. I think for Peoria City, they would call it redemption because a little bit of a soft call, but in the end, as the boys say, the ball doesn't lie.
A ball does not lie indeed. So, score line holds 3-0. Sammy Slimmy continues his excellent start to the 2024 campaign. Ball last touched by Sueno. Now Wes Gibson tries to switch the play, opposite end of the field. Dickerson, forward to Pepe Mayado. Pepe trying to find DJ. Ball continues to be ricocheted around. And here comes Gomez. Forward to Safanavong. Vicious shot attempt sent right back from Saraiva. Now Gomez again. And it will stick with City. Anthony Valverde will have the throw-in. Substitution coming into the game for Sueno. Maxi Bada from Lewis University in Plainfield, Illinois. Checks into the game.
What an amazing year for Lewis University this year in Division II National Tournament. Made a deep run. Coach Evans Feifel's there. 3 decades of coaching that team, and just a really difficult thing. A school of that size and that location competing against some national powers, and like I said, deep run into the tournament and doing that program proud.
Valverde able to get it to Stefanovong. Mayado push it all the way to the far side of play. Now Mayado to Stefanovong, played forward to DJ. It just seems like every time they get within that last 2 to 3 feet of the penalty area, Sueno's been there with an answer. DJ able to fight through traffic. Kulai dancing through two. Kulai continues to play it on, and nearly a miraculous goal, but Sueno dodges the bullet.
It's one of those moments where for Saraiva, it's harder to kick it over than to kick it in, and just that last skip looks like it hit him a little bit high in the high ankle there, maybe even off his calf, and the ball just took off toward the sky. But a great play by Kulai. It made it look easy getting all the way through. Man, he'll want that one back. That'll keep him up at night.
Obviously, you're excited about a lot of the players you're seeing here tonight, Coach, just because you'll see them again in the fall. But Kulai's definitely someone to keep an eye on come 2024 season.
Yeah, no doubt. And he showed that throughout this league, and he'll continue to show it. And a real talent, and the more games he plays, the more growth he'll have, and the future is very bright for him. But a setting like this in the USL2 is a chance for him to really keep growing as a player. And, but be careful, because they had that great chance, and next thing you know, 20 seconds later, Ibarra gets to make his stamp on, and really good play there, getting into the box.
An outbreaking ball. It really didn't have a ton of altitude under it for Sueno. Kind of goes awry, but touching again on Kulai, he had a very interesting start before he even got to Bradley. He played in the TST soccer tournament. For any of those that don't know, it literally stands for the soccer tournament. It's a 7-on-7 series of games where the winning team wins $1 million. He played for Borussia Dortmund's team, and that kind of just set the table for him coming into Bradley in 2023.
Yeah, it did, and unfortunately you can't go back and play. Once you enter college, you're not allowed to participate in those type of events. But if you're not familiar with that tournament, get onto their social channels. It kicks off soon. Great entertainment value in terms of the superstars, and not just our sports, all kinds of sports, and just really good entertainment out there on those fields out there in Cary, North Carolina.
One of the main reasons I bring it up is because I'm very close to the people that put that on with the TBT and the TST, but some of the teams they have going on, obviously Wrexham forming a side with the Welcome to Wrexham series, Landon Donovan, some of the former U.S. men's national team, Chad Ochocinco and Pat McAfee are putting a team together. It's a ton of fun to watch.
They're in the same group, so you want some good banter on your sports talk TV. It's coming.
And while we're stuck watching some pretty good TV of our own, played well outside. Peoria City got a lot of bodies forward here. Could it be number 4? This one put on and in. Peoria City 4 up.
Yeah, for Saraiva there, it was just the opportunity of whether he was going to go for it himself or make a pass to somebody. And, man, the 309 is good luck this half.
The old saying goes, when it rains, it pours. It may have been sunny today, but it's a very gloomy outlook for Sueno FC as they fall down 4 here in half number 2. So that goal by Saraiva ensures that Peoria City will have scored at least 4 in their last 3 contests. That's a pretty good offensive mark, Coach. And granted, now one of those is against the bottom sides in the division in Dutch Lions, but 4 goals is nothing to snuff at.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Every game's got a chance to be competitive, and as they've shown this game, they don't back down. Once they get 2, they get 3, and they get 4, and that really sinks the opponent.
I was interested to see coming into tonight, I usually wait just to tabulate the goal differentials because a lot of times teams won't play a ton of games in succession unless they have a bulk home or road stand. But Peoria City comes in with the best goal differential in the Heartland division. And that is something of note just because they're in a division that's fairly tough. The Des Moines Menace are in there, and ultimately goal differential, albeit is essentially the second tiebreaker, it's definitely something that you want to pad.
Yeah, the amount of draws that have already occurred. St. Charles is a really strong team this year. River Light's a strong team. Menace is always strong.
Kulai gets it inside. Safonavong blocked away.
Yeah, remnants of the second goal there in terms of that little combination play, and good defensive block because Safonavong did right. It was going on frame, and it was going to be a chance for not only the goalkeeper had a good look at it, but good defensive block. But going back to the league standings, it's going to be tight all the way through. When you get draws early in the season, as you said, tiebreaker is a pretty good chance when it comes to the top two playoff spots that there might be a tie at first, second, or third, and so these early goals will come back to help you.
Kulai tried to feed it opposite end to Valverde, and we want to read you down some of those standings again. We touched on it in the open. After St. Charles' draw at the wire up at Aurora against Riverlight FC. They stay as one of those teams in the log jam, but Peoria City and Des Moines already met this season. It was a 1-1 draw. They're in that mix as well. Riverlight not far off the pace, but again, we touched on it coming into tonight. This is one of the two big games in the Heartland division in the next 48 hours. Tomorrow, Riverlight FC will host the Des Moines Menace, and that has a lot of implications on the standings. And again, in the Central Conference and Heartland divisions, all the divisions that matter in the conference, we'll get two of their top teams into the postseason.
Yeah, when you get that USL League 2 website, they'll do points per game here throughout the season because, as you just said before, you get an imbalance of how many games you play in a League 2 summer season. So at this stage, Peoria City will climb themselves up, even though they've played more matches. But these wins here and the goal differential.
And little Bradley on Bradley crime as Fida takes out Kulai for the free kick.
Yeah, referee's calling it back for the first foul in that sequence as opposed to the last contact we saw.
So Dickerson gets us back underway.
You can see the substitutes have really improved the game for both teams, even though the scoreline's gone well in favor of Peoria City. Sueno's got a lot of work going. They're still pressing. They're still putting an effort in. Just a chance to get a goal back and maybe not rally four back, but build some confidence as they go into their next match on Saturday.
Yeah, and Sueno FC's record is kind of misleading because we touched on how good both Riverlight and St. Charles have been. Both those contests ended 2-1, not in their favor, and then they just came off a 3-0 victory against the Dutch Lions. So it's not like Sueno's coming in licking their wounds here.
No, after this, they're going to play a lot of games in the Chicago area, so less travel, a little bit more rest period for them, and that's good. That's good for their chance to try to climb the standings a little bit. And maybe at some point in the season you may not be a playoff team, but you can start to ruin other people's seasons by taking away their points.
Sueno FC will see Des Moines Menace in their building on the 1st of next month, and then they'll have a week off before they see Chicago City on the road. It'll be the first of a 4-leg road trip with Chicago City, the Dutch Lions, the Menace, and then Riverlight FC. As Kulai pivots, tries to scan for an opening. He'll try and make his own, and he'll go down. Sueno trying to break out the other way. Lucarasso. Nice lead ball to the opposite end. There's Andrew Sanchez, 17, on that right wing, trying to run it down. We get to the 77th minute. We'd like to thank TDK Event Services, the official transportation partner of Peoria City. TDK is your premier destination for luxury transportation and event experiences. Learn more on their Facebook page today. Kulai inside to Meato. That's Kulai on his right, Safonavong on his left. Meato tries to find it to Safonavong. Chip forward to Anthony Valverde. Rosa. Also working against Gibson. Much like the first half, the second half fairly up and down at times. And you kind of hinted at that, Coach, that in the second half with the shape of the field and shape that it could take, as this one skied over a goal, this game could pick up a little bit in the pace department.
Yeah, you look at that serve right there. It skips into the box, and the header's just a little bit off, and it falls to Sanchez and made good contact, but just didn't catch it clean and got a little bit too much spin on it and took off over the goal.
And some unfortunate person will track the ball down out of the pines, but Sammy Slimmy seems all set and ready to go. So Von Reyes and Arceo will come in. Ray is essentially the last Bradley member that we haven't talked about today. He'll check into the contest for Sueno alongside him. Scale Arceo, defender, native of Orland Park, and he was another one of those MLS Next products with Shockers FC.
My hometown high school, Orland Park, Illinois. So, yeah, you see all the Chicago representation, all the suburbs, city kids, too, that go to school all over the country. And, again, this is Sueno's goal, is to give these kids an opportunity to come out here and develop. And although the game's 4-0, it's still your chance to get on the field and make a stamp and just try to make a play and build on that confidence to get yourself more minutes and more time in the squad.
Svanavong trying to get it to Kulai. Flicks it on the back foot. Now played forward to Kulai. Could this have a little bit of magic to it? And instead, Cam Kowalski brings out the eraser.
Yeah, Kowalski's forte there with his, he's got the speed. Broken plays that don't look great. Next thing you know, he's sliding and making a really a goal-saving tackle.
Safanavong runs on here, flicks it to Kulai. Now going backside, another shot on. 5 up for City. João Saraiva has his second. It's just been that kind of a night for Sueno. They ran into a buzzsaw, and City will comfortably cruise with about 10 minutes left in this one.
The problem with viewing this game at home is you don't get to appreciate the quality of that strike because the angle is not as good as what we get to see here in the stadium, but that ball's in the top right corner, and what a fantastic strike by Saraiva and Kulai. Spotted a really good pass and skipped the guy to get it out to that wide open target, and that's the one thing for Peoria City right now. A couple extra passes goes a long way, and they're making plays look real easy right now.
Wilson, Persenico, Dickerson, and back-to-back goals by Saraiva have the Carp again. Loving life here at home in Shea Stadium as they're up 5-0 over Heartland foe Sueno FC. Kulai in possession, Safanavong. Now again forward, here comes Gomez. Gomez tries to push on. Josh Reddy.
Discipline is the word now for both teams. Quality decisions with the ball, no reckless tackles, and don't do anything silly to cost yourself a goal for Peoria City because you got another shutout waiting for you.
Kulai tried to flick it forward. He's a guy that doesn't wait for too many avenues, tries to make his own, and nearly had a sixth.
By number 7, João Saraiva, his second of the game. Assisted by number 14, DJ Kulai.
So as we get ready to close out the final few minutes in this one, Peoria City would like to thank this year's Field Side Club sponsor, Volkswagen of Peoria, located at 2322 West Van Winkle Way in Peoria. A quick second as Sueno into the final third. Sanchez tried to present an opportunity. Located at 2322 West Van Winkle Way in Peoria. Shop for new and used Volkswagen cars, trucks, and SUVs. Located in Auto House of Peoria. Two in the penalty area here. Flicked forward header.
That far post there, Valverde, simple play in terms of how he made it look, but he was stuck in a bad position. Made really good contact with Reyes and prevented an easy header on goal because the serve just clipped over everybody to get to that far side. And like I said, it didn't look difficult, but it's a really well executed play.
Cam Kowalski with roughly 6 minutes, not counting what stoppage time we'll add back on. Again, shouldn't be a ton of that here in half number 2. Fida trying to find Sanchez over the top. And we touched on the upcoming schedule for Sueno FC, but for Peoria City, they'll have the Lincoln Cup home leg here. So they'll take on Springfield FC upcoming. They'll also have a road match at Riverlight FC before they begin the first of the Copa Peoria Cities against Chivas Guadalajara and their U23 team. And foul as Gibson was contacted into the back. So after the 6th of next month, Peoria City won't have another divisional match until the 15th when they host Riverlight here in Peoria. So Joe McInnes, and first time this season we will see Claudel Ngange check onto the field for Peoria City. I know you and I were talking before we got on. He's one that I'm very excited to see this year.
Yeah, a positive summer is going to go a long way for him to make an impact during the fall season. Sometimes some little injuries will arise and steal some minutes from you in a short college season. So important summer for him, just getting that confidence back, and nothing like a few minutes here to get that connection with some teammates and start to feel that positivity that this group is showing right now.
Claudel, a Canadian, Montreal, Quebec. Claudel sends it forward. Svanavong. Joe McInnes tried to get it there. McInnes from North Georgia. He's a native of Scotland. Svanavong run off the ball. McInnes was the 2022 Peach Belt Conference All-Tournament team member. And Ngange played in 10 appearances for the Braves last season. Started in 9 of those. Ball to Kulai. Kulai somehow got it right back, gets it back a third time. Now he'll drive on.
Now you go through a game like this and you see Reddy and Gibson. You don't hear their names a lot, and that's a positive thing. And breaking up plays like Reddy did right there that don't get a lot of recognition because he's not scoring goals. But when you look at the shutout, those two anchoring it and making really difficult for Sueno to get any good chances.
Absolutely, and they're responsible. Again, if this scoreline holds, Peoria City can thank them in large part for outscoring in their last 3 matches 15-0. Between their 4-0, 6-0 wins against the Dutch Lions, and then if this holds a 5-0 victory tonight.
Yeah, for Slimy, spectacular goalkeeper, right? Every cross comes and collects it, no issues, and then saving the penalty kick, and he gets your defensive man of the match because that play is just spectacular.
Again, not much left to do besides knock it around for the last handful of minutes as City again puts a statement out there into the Heartland division. But they will be a side to play for what could be one of the top 2 spots in the division and have our only carding of the night thus far come to Sueno FC. City will have it after play resumes. Abraham Horta, forward from Petone High School. He's all another one of those UPSL and MLS Next guys. Chicago Strikers, FC United. And Pepe. Fouled by Horta. After having a little bit of a talking to, seems to have settled back down.
Yeah, the referee's telling him to cut it out because you have to throw him out of the game if he does it again, and just trying to get him through the last couple minutes here. And I had mentioned that word discipline before. You don't want to get too loose and give the referee he's got to do his job. If you do something stupid, he's going to throw you out.
Miles will hand off the responsibility of the throw-in to Reddy. It's been a complete effort tonight for Peoria City. It looked like in the first half, maybe they needed to make a few adjustments, and boy, did Mike Pay do that in half number 2. Not really a threatening one coming, but it falls to Pepe, who tries to put on an effort. Laudel swings the inside foot to send the ball outside. Trying to turn on it, Saraiva.
Referees determined there was approximately 3 minutes of stoppage time.
So 3 minutes of time will be put back on.
Yeah, in a 5-0 game, you're not going to see any excessive added time between the goals and the substitutions. He, in theory, could have added 5 or 6 minutes, but there's no need in a 5-0 game. You just get short and sweet and get everybody out of here.
I will say, in my last 3 years or so calling games at Bradley and some other spots, I haven't ever seen a goal in stoppage time towards the end of a game that was consequential. In the last 2 days I've been up in Aurora, I've had 2 of those where Riverlight FC was up 2-0 in the first half, fell down 3-2 in the second half, and they punched one in the 94th minute of stoppage time to get a point in their home opener. And then yesterday, I was up for Riverlight FC and Chicago City SC, and in the 92nd minute of stoppage time, City punched one in on the road to win the game. And so I'm not saying we're going to have some sort of magical goal worth 6 points here, but
no, but it is exciting when it happens late like that.
it is always a thrill.
And those are all good teams you mentioned, and so therefore make sure you stay all the way through. Tonight, people are going to exit a little bit earlier, get home, and get into bed. But in those games, that's the beauty of this league, and we see it day in, day out with so many quality teams all over the country.
And it's always an interesting dynamic, especially when talking about City and Riverlight, because Charlie Latshaw was at City with a number of other members who have formed the Riverlight FC staff. And much like Sueno, their inaugural season, they're trying to grab a foothold in sporting both a women's team and a men's team. They're off to an okay start, just 1 loss between the 2 sides, but they're another team that's going to eventually make a trip down here and have to see what it's like and life on the road.
Yeah, a lot of excitement around Riverlight. They're a really well-run organization, and quality training, quality coaches, quality play on game day, and on both the men's and women's side. And they'll continue to build upon it year after year with the little things, the branding and their social program platforms, and just exciting for all of us to follow all this stuff.
About 2 minutes deep into what we were told is 3 minutes of time added back on to the 90th minute. So we're getting to the waning seconds here. Sueno trying to find some last few moments forward here in this one again. Had some moments where it looked like they really could have broken through, made this a game. They even had a penalty opportunity where they were trailing 3-0 in the 60th minute. That got turned away, and Peoria City immediately responded with a 4th. And just one of those moments. Saraiva, he'll put one on, and he has the hat trick. Take a bow, Joao Saraiva. Well, I'm not saying I called that one into existence, Coach, but that's now 3 in 3 games I've had. So We're going to take credit for it.
The referee gave you 2 extra seconds, too, that they get to finish at just over the 3-minute mark. But another classy strike, and our camera angle catch that one real nice on the replays. And just a perfectly placed finish, and probably caught people by surprise because he was in a standstill and it didn't look like he was going to do anything. And what a great clean string.
And that should essentially do it. If it wasn't already signed, sealed, and delivered after goals 4 and 5, City, there can't be more than just a few seconds left in this one. And Charlie Dickerson takes a celebratory bath, so to speak, with the water bottle over the head. Sueno will punt it forward. There goes the full-time whistle. Final from Shea Stadium in Peoria. It was all Carp, 6-0. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll be right back after a short break to read off some of our sponsors to make this broadcast and those like the future possible. Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today. It was a pleasure having you. Hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you very much. A beautiful game on display.
Peoria City is back action here at Shea Stadium.
I want to thank you all for tuning into tonight's broadcast of USL 2 Soccer out of the Heartland Division. Again, Peoria City 6, Sueno FC 0. I want to take this time to thank some of our sponsors that make this broadcast and others like it in the future possible. Peoria City is powered by the House Barbell Club, the official presenting sponsor of the club. Located at 7920 North Sommer Street in Peoria. Get 24/7 access, group, and personal training and more at the House. Tonight we want to say thank you to all the first responders in our area. Tonight's game day sponsor, the Germantown Hills Athletic Association, made it possible for us to welcome first responders and their families to Shea Stadium at no cost. Thank you for everything you do to serve our community. Again, as we begin to put a bow on this one, it was all Carp, 6-0. Give you the scoring recap here from what was a very tame first half. It was a 5th-minute goal from Justin Wilson, assisted by Anthony Valverde. And as we forward to the second half, Luke Persenico continues his hot run of play, adding another goal to his team-leading total as he was assisted by Justin Wilson. And then it was 4 straight goals by Bradley players, including a hat trick by Joao Saraiva and a solo goal from Charlie Dickerson that saw this one to the finish line. Again, we want to thank you all for coming out tonight and tuning into the broadcast as Peoria City defeats Sueno FC. We'll be off for a little bit until we see you on the 9th of next month when Guadalajara Chivas comes to town for the Copa Peoria Series. Again, for Cody Roskins, thank you for tuning in to Peoria City Soccer.